All right, everyone, it's time for your humorous story of the day. Elmo trolling Antifa. Yes, in Portland. Link in the description, archived, of course. I'm sure that there are 1,000 iterations of this video on the internet that you can find. In Portland, there was an anti-ICE protest. And Elmo showed up. Well, a dude in an Elmo suit, of course, and was dancing around and talking in an Elmo voice and shit. And the anti-ICE protesters were like berating him and trying to get him. They were like confused. They didn't know what the fuck was going on. And there are so many slurs that are bleeped out in most iterations of this video. It's like people telling him, basically fucking get lost. I thought that was hysterical. This is it's not quite as funny as Chasgard, but it is very, very funny. So we're gonna give Elmo credit. First, Elmo becomes a goddamn Nazi, and now he's showing up at anti-ICE protests to dance around and talk about how deportation is important and stuff like that. I love this timeline sometimes, only some of the time, but that's beyond the point. Seeing Elmo trolling Antifa members, and that's what they really are. It was very funny. That's what we need to talk about, though, in more serious terms. Most of the people that are at these so-called protests, which often escalate into riots, especially after sundown, the majority of these people are paid agents. They're not activist grassroots citizens that simply want the minorities in their neighborhood, so to speak, and all the NIMBY bullshit, and they don't actually want them in their neighborhood. I've noticed this. We noticed this in Martha's Vineyard, for example. Most of these are trust fund babies. You can tell it by the equipment that they're using to record everything around them. And they're there for clout. They're there to be an influencer. This is going to be great for my Instagram. I'm doing my part. Yay, I attended an anti-ICE protest. Look at me, look at me. And so Elmo decided to steal the show. And that's probably what pissed him off more than anything else was that the dude in the Elmo costume who was just basically berating them, uh, trolling them, stole the show. He got on the news and they didn't. The only reason anyone knew that the protest happened, because it happens in Portland every night anyway, is because Elmo showed up. Stole their thunder. Oh, I loved this one. Yeah, you should watch the video though. He's like dancing around, speaking in the Elmo voice the whole time. And they're like, fucking leave, and shit like that. And then, because there are cops around, there's no way they can force him to leave because they can't physically assault him without repercussions. I've noticed, by the way, that this is a trend. Now that the Trump administration has deployed more resources to various urban areas in order to try to prevent, assault on, random people and arson and stuff like that, I've noticed that the protests tend to be a little bit more trolled lately. That's because people actually dare to show up. For example, if I show up in Portland dressed fully as a pirate, and there's 5 or 6 National Guard troops on the corner, I'm going to be able to sit there and laugh and harass the people that are there. And as long as you don't step over the line and make like terroristic threats or something, you're probably safe because you're backed by the National Guard. My back would be to the Guard in that sense. And if you got just 2 Marines there, I'd feel safe too. Before, though, under the Biden administration, a lot of people wouldn't counter demonstrate against these morons because they felt unsafe. They felt like, look, the police aren't going to do anything if I get beaten to the ground. There's no troops here. There's no anything. The police won't even show up. They won't even be there. So it's not safe for me to go and counter demonstrate. I'm not allowed to air my grievances or tell my story. Only they're allowed to do so, simply because there are a lot of them, and they're exceptionally violent, moronic human beings. Now it's a little bit different. Now the guns are, pointing in the other direction too, so to speak. So people are more likely to speak their mind. Watching Elmo trolling Antifa members is was not on my bingo card list for the year, although I probably should have suspected it. Once Elmo decided to dedicate his life to Adolf Hitler because of a Kanye song, announced on Twitter, of course, I figured that maybe Elmo would be up to some more shenanigans. I should have known that. It's just a funny story. This is your humor of the day. If you haven't seen the video, though, please look up the video. Trust me, it'll be worth the couple minutes of your life. It's hysterical. This reaches into the top 10 of hilarity for me. Chaz Garden will still, I think, always be number one as far as like news and shit. Number one overall is still that one scene from Deadwood where Steve the drunk goes crazy and starts rambling about race and things like that. I literally fell out of my chair. Chaz Garden would be a close number two, though. That's about all. Peace out.